Dublin, 1300. A walled city on the edge of the world. Today you will live one day inside these walls, from the moment the gates open at dawn to the moment they seal shut at nightfall. One city, one day, 1,000 stories. Above the gate, a guard appears on the parapet. He looks down at the crowd without expression, and then he nods. The chains rattle, the great timber doors groan open, and the crowd surges forward, carrying you with it into Dublin. Your feet touch the cobblestones inside the gate, and suddenly everything changes. The sound, the smell, the press of bodies. This is Dublin. 13,000 souls packed inside these walls, and today every single one of them seems to be moving. The street climbs upward from the gate toward the heart of the city. You let the crowd carry you forward. Timber houses lean over the narrow lane, blocking out the sky. Shutters bang open above you. Chamber pots empty into the street. Welcome to Dublin. Watch your step, watch your purse, and whatever you do, keep moving with the flow. The crowd pushes you upward through the narrow streets until suddenly the lane opens and you stumble into chaos. The market square explodes around you. Noise and movement and color and smell all hitting you at once like a wave. Stalls crowd every inch of space. Carts block the lanes. People shout and argue and laugh and curse in 3 languages. A pig runs past your legs, chased by a boy with a stick. A woman screams at them both to get away from her bread. The smell is extraordinary. Fish and meat and leather and sweat and dung and smoke all mingled into something you will never forget. Even the King of England has heard about the stench of Dublin. Travelers speak of it in London as a warning, but the people here do not notice or do not care. This is simply the smell of a city that is alive. A butcher works in the open air with his cleaver flashing silver. Blood pools beneath his table and runs between the stones. Beside him, a woman sells herbs from a basket and whispers promises with each one, cures for fever, charms for love. A man pulls teeth for a penny on the corner. His patient screams. The crowd laughs. Life continues all around them. This is High Street, the spine of Dublin, the oldest road in the city worn smooth by 10,000 years of feet. Everything Dublin needs passes through here. Everything Dublin fears, everything Dublin dreams. It all happens on these worn stones. Through the noise of the market you hear something different. A rhythm, metal striking metal, steady as a heartbeat. You follow the sound down a narrow lane away from the chaos. The crowd thins. The air changes. You are entering another world. At the Tholsel near Christchurch, the guild masters meet in secret to set prices and crush anyone who defies them. They dress in fine wool and sit in the front pews at Mass. They dine with the mayor and lend money to lords. Some say the guilds serve the city. Others say the city serves the guilds. The truth is somewhere in between. Every guild has its saint. Every guild has its feast day. Every guild has its banner that flies above the streets. And every guild has its secrets. The mysteries of the craft passed down from master to apprentice behind locked doors. 7 years. That is how long you must serve before you can call yourself a master. 7 years of silence and obedience. One door stands open ahead of you. Orange light flickers from within. The heat reaches you before you see the source. The forge roars like a living thing. The blacksmith stands before it stripped to the waist and gleaming with sweat. His hammer rises and falls in a rhythm older than Dublin itself. Sparks scatter across the dark floor like dying stars. In the corner, a boy of 9 works the bellows without stopping. His arms ache. His lungs burn. He does not complain. This is his 6th year. One more, and he can call himself a smith. One more year of fire and iron and silence. Down the lane, the tanner works in a yard that smells of death itself. Hides soak in pits of lime and dog dung. The carpenter shapes oak beams that will hold up houses for 100 years. His apprentice watches every movement of the blade. The goldsmith works behind a locked door with armed guards outside. His craft requires secrets that lesser men must never learn. These are the hands that build Dublin, rough and scarred and never still. The hands that turn raw matter into civilization. A woman passes the forge carrying a basket of fish on her head. She moves through the crowd like water through stones. You watch her disappear down the lane, and you realize something. Half the people working in Dublin today are women. The woman with the fish is called a huckster. She buys from the boats at dawn and sells in the streets all day. She has no guild. She has no master. She answers to no one except the weight of the basket on her head. Everywhere you look in Dublin, you see women working, baking bread, brewing ale, spinning wool, selling everything the city needs. Some women inherit their husband's trade when he dies. A widow can run a forge or a bakery in her own name. Some women work as factors for merchants, crossing the Irish Sea to trade in Chester and Bristol and beyond. The records show a woman named Christina Clerk, who sailed over 1,000 miles in a single year doing business for Dublin. But do not mistake opportunity for freedom. A woman in Dublin belongs first to her father and then to her husband. She cannot vote. She cannot hold office. She cannot speak in court without a man to speak for her. Her children belong to her husband. Her property belongs to her husband. Even her body belongs to her husband under the law. And yet, walk through Dublin today and count the women keeping this city alive with their labor. The men make the laws. The men run the guilds. The men sit in the tholsel and decide the fate of all. But the women feed the city. The women clothe the city. The women raise the children who will become the city. Your stomach growls and reminds you that you have not eaten since before the gates opened. The smell of roasting meat finds you. You follow your nose down a side street to a tavern with no sign. Smoke pours from a hole in the roof. Inside it is dark and warm and thick with the smell of bodies and ale and something bubbling over the fire. A woman ladles stew into a wooden bowl and pushes it across the table toward you. Meat and onions and something gray. You do not ask what the meat is. In Dublin, you learn quickly not to ask questions that you do not want answered. The ale comes in a leather cup. It is thick and brown and tastes like bread that has been left out in the rain. But it is safer than the water. Everyone in Dublin knows that the water from the pottle will make you sick. The bread is dark and heavy and full of grit that crunches between your teeth. The rich eat better than this. They eat white bread and fresh fish and meat that still has a name attached to it. But for a working man in Dublin, this is enough. Hot food, cold ale, a moment to sit before the afternoon begins. You finish your bowl and push back from the table. Outside, the light has shifted. The day is half gone already. Christ Church Cathedral rises above the rooftops of Dublin like a stone prayer reaching toward heaven. You climb the hill toward it. The bells are ringing for evening mass. All across the city, people stop what they are doing and turn toward the sound. Inside the cathedral, the air is cool and still and smells of incense and centuries. Light falls through colored glass onto the stones. Rich and poor kneel together here. Norman lord and Gaelic servant, guildmaster and apprentice. Death makes equals of them all. And death is everywhere in Dublin. You have seen it all day without noticing. The graves, the crosses, the black doors. A child born in this city has perhaps 30 years to live if God is kind. Many do not survive their first winter. The churchyard is full. They are burying people on top of people now. Bones mix with bones beneath the Dublin soil. Disease takes more than war ever could. Fever sweeps through the cramped streets every summer and takes the weak without mercy, and so they pray. The light is failing now. The shadows swallow the lanes one by one, and somewhere a horn begins to blow. The curfew horn echoes across Dublin. Every soul in the city knows what that sound means. The day is over. The market stalls are folding. The workshops are closing. The taverns are filling with men who have nowhere else to go. At every gate, the guards are preparing to seal the city for the night. The chains are ready. The bars are waiting. If you are outside when the gates close, you will stay outside until dawn. The walls do not care about your excuses. Thieves work the dark lanes. Drunks stumble into trouble. The watch patrols with clubs, but they cannot be everywhere at once. Most people stay inside after dark. A candle in the window, a bar across the door, prayers whispered until sleep comes. Outside the walls, the Gaelic night stretches away into the hills. Fires burn in distant villages. Songs are sung in Irish. Out there, Dublin is just a glow on the horizon, a foreign city squatting on Irish land, a wound that has never healed. But inside the walls, 13,000 souls sleep and dream and breathe and wait for the dawn that will start it all again. This is Dublin. This is 1300. This is one extraordinary day in a city built on the edge of everything. A Norman city, a Gaelic island, a place where two worlds meet and clash and trade, and sometimes even understand each other. Sleep now. Tomorrow the bells will ring and the gates will open and the whole extraordinary chaos will begin once more.